Do you want to get the best KD inside Warzone? Well, in this video, we're going to be going over what are the 6 best weapons to use inside Warzone that will give you the highest possible KD. If you do enjoy content like this, don't forget to subscribe to the channel as we try to reach our goal of 50k subscribers. Also click that link in the description down below and subscribe to our second channel. So where we actually got our data from was the Warzone ranked website. Now this ranks every single gun from the most picked weapon in Warzone to the least picked weapon, and it gives you an idea of what people are actually using. But what we're mainly focusing on here is the highest KD guns. Now, not only are the highest KD, but they're also going to be guns that are picked quite highly as well, but also are going to give you a lot more wins on top of that. Now, obviously, some of it comes down to your own skill, but these weapons will outperform the other weapons that are lower down on this list. Now, we mainly picked out 3 close range weapons and 3 long range weapons, so you can mix and match these guns and get some good loadouts out of it as well. So as you can see here, we've got the Owen gun, which is very popular at the moment, the well gun, and the Armageddon. And straight away, those are going to be our close range options. As you can see here, you get some insanely good KD ratios if you are using these weapons. Then when it comes to long range guns, you kind of need to sift through it a little bit. And you've got the STG right here, you've got the ZRG, we've got the MG82, we've got some different weapons farther down, but we're going to go through the best builds for the top 6 weapons. So let's start off with our long range options, and starting off at number 6 is my personal favorite, and that is the Automaton assault rifle. This is going to be a super low recoil, extremely hard hitting assault rifle, to be honest. I do think it's super low recoil. People think that this gun does have recoil. I don't know how, because all you need to do is pull down on your stick and you could pretty much land shots so easily with this gun. Now, the build needs to be this build right here. This is actually taken from the Warzone ranked website, because you can actually see the meta builds that everyone is using. So this is the meta build, and this is the one that I usually advocate for anyway. So MX silencer for the best recoil control and bullet velocity, 600mm barrel, which is the best barrel, G16 optic, padded stock. You can go for the skeletal stock if you are able to control the recoil of this gun, but I do think the padded is the best option. Tight grip for the better recoil control, fully loaded polymer grip again for recoil control, 75 round mags, lengthened, and the hand stop underbarrel. This is overall going to be one of the easiest guns to use in this game right now, and it's one of my favorite guns to use overall. Next up, we have the only sniper that makes this list, and that is the ZRG. Now, obviously you could build this a couple of different ways. I've recommended the kind of aggressive build for ZRG for a while now, but the main build that is getting used by most people, and people are performing extremely well with it, is the long range build for this gun. Now, you want to use the wrap suppressor for the best bullet velocity, the combat recon barrel once again for the best bullet velocity, the 5mm laser is going to help with the ADS times. The 5 round mags people prefer over the bruiser grip, which is surprising to me, but this is what everyone is using. And then the serpent wrap. Now, again, I would probably recommend the airborne elastic, but I'm assuming people are preferring the faster ADS because of the 5 round mag. So obviously you could build this a slightly different way if you wanted to. And it should be no surprise to you at the moment that this is the best long range gun in the game, which is the STG. This gun pretty much got buffed just because they wanted to sell that Godzilla bundle, let's be perfectly honest. Everyone's unlocked it, everyone's using it, it is a solid weapon. It's probably the easiest gun you can use right now anyway. So MX silencer for the best recoil control and the kind of damage range bonuses, all that good stuff. The 760mm barrel is the best barrel for the STG, G16 or whatever optic you like. Weighted stock is the best stock for this gun. Some people were using precision before, but weighted is the way to go. Vital, now you can switch out Vital, but it does actually help with TTK in this case. Fully loaded polymer grip, which is going to help with recoil once again. 50 round mag is the best mags for this gun. I know some people recommend the 60. I used to love the 60, but I do think the 50 round is going to give you the lowest possible recoil, and the TTKs, in my opinion, are about the same, so you might as well go for the lower recoil option. Lengthened and hand stop underbarrel. This gun right now is absolutely broken. It probably will get nerfed. Now we're moving into our close range options, and we've already seen what these 3 guns are, but let's talk about the main builds for this. So the build for the Armageddon, which is my personal favorite SMG in the game right now, is the recoil booster. You then need to use the body barrel. This is going to give you less damage fall off at range because this is a super good sniper support weapon. It also extends your damage range and gives you good bullet velocity. So overall, definitely very useful bonuses here. And the counter recoil isn't huge because it's a very accurate weapon overall. Then we're using the slate reflector. You can use whatever optic you like. You can use iron sights if you want to as well. The folding stock is the best stock for the Armageddon. Then they are using hard scoped. Personally, I would use steady, but with the Warzone rank website, most people are using hard scope for the recoil control, which is understandable. Then we're using quick for the better movement speeds, polymer grip for the recoil control. Again, I don't really feel like you need the recoil control, so you can go with the fabric grip, but again, most people are picking polymer. 60 round mags is the best mags and it gives you the largest mag, so overall definitely a solid option. Lengthened for the better bullet velocity, and hand stop underbarrel once again, which is just the best underbarrel to use. Next up we have the well gun, which is growing in popularity once again. I think it's due to this build right here, but also the slight adjustments to the other SMGs. But the well gun is definitely kind of taking the spot of the MP40 in my opinion. And we're using the recoil booster for the faster fire rate, going short for the faster fire rate, and then pretty much every other attachment is going to try and control the recoil. We're using the slate reflector, the remove stock for the better movement speed, acrobatic for better movement speed, quick for better movement speed. The polymer grip is going to help with the recoil control, of course. Then we've got the Grenko 40 round mags. Now, you can go for the 64 round mags, but the reason people are using the 40 round is because it doesn't con your ADS time. And on top of that, it's going to give you a faster fire rate, therefore being more forgiving, and it gives you better recoil control on top of that. So there is a reason why people are using these mags. I just think that on Caldera, it's probably not going to be as valuable. Maybe the 64 rounds might be the option there. Then we're using lengthened again for the better bullet velocity, and hand stop underbarrel once again is a no-brainer here for the recoil control. So last but not least, at number 1, which is basically the highest KD gun in the game, but on top of that, it's number 1 for our close range options. Like I said, you can mix and match these with the long range options to make some class setups. But like I said here, we've got the Owen gun, which is probably no surprise. This gun's been pretty broken for a while now. And the build just keeps on changing with this gun. So you just keep switching out the build and the gun always stays at the number 1 spot. So here you want to use the recoil booster again for the faster fire rate. We're actually using the Gawaiian shrouded barrel for the less damage fall off, the extra limb damage, the better bullet velocity, but it does con your headshot damage, so keep that in mind when you're using this weapon. We've actually cycled through every single one of these barrels with this gun by now, and we've landed on the shrouded, but that is what people are picking the most, and maybe that's what feels the best. I have tried it out, and it doesn't feel really too different to me, but it's definitely a solid option still. Slate reflector, remove stock, that's not changed. Acrobatic for the better movement speed, again, that's not really changed too much either. Quick, once again, better movement speed. Fabric grip, once again, hasn't really changed, but you can go for polymer as well if you really wanted to. The Grenko mags are back in again. Everyone's using the Grenko mags because it has less recoil. You can go for the 9mm, will give you a slightly better TTK, but I think everyone's going for the Grenko because the recoil on the 9mm is a little bit too high, especially for those console and controller players. So the Grenko mags might be the best option here. Lengthened and hand stop once again. So there we have it. Those are the 6 highest KD guns inside Warzone at the moment. If you did enjoy this video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel as we're trying to reach our goal of 50k. Also, click that link in the description and subscribe to our second channel. We'll be covering everything regarding Season 3 and the Reloaded update. And thank you very much for watching.